killing me, yo. Keeping this game on lock is epitome, yo. We the best and forever switching up this flow. On top, we forever scooping up this dough. Yo, yeah, it's real. We together. Any time of year, you know we changing the weather. Yes, check the rhyme, check the beat.
It is Thursday, February 3rd. It's a good week for NBA basketball. Like I said on the Monday show, the King and I, which is also a book and a play and some other stuff, King and I have pivoted to basketball, and it's been awesome. I actually I watched 2 games Tuesday night, 2 games last night, and we're gonna start talking about that. Been betting a lot more. Had a good night last night, good night Tuesday night. The Monday bets weren't that great. We were 2 and 3, but I'll talk about Tuesday, Wednesday once I bring the King on. So, King, I know you are a Giants fan, football. So I know you're getting rocked by a little bit of scandal, but I hope you've pivoted to basketball.
Pivot. That's my favorite. You ever see Friends? You never watch Friends, huh?
Yeah.
Ross is trying to move the couch, and the only advice he gives is pivot. He's yelling pivot. Like, what do you mean pivot? Like, what's pivot? It was just great, classic. But no, basketball is getting fun. You know what I mean? Like, doesn't seem to be any problem hiring a coach in basketball, huh? You can just get done playing basketball, and they'll hire you the next day to be their coach. So I don't know. Maybe coaches in basketball and football are different type of people. Maybe you have different requirements. Like maybe as a coach in the NBA, you just have to know about the NBA and be, a player. In the NFL, you got to coach at least for a couple of years.
Yeah, well, NFL, it's a much bigger thing. It's a 53-man roster, 11. You know how it all works. Basketball, 5-on-5, very different things. Yeah, very, very different things. On basketball, you could be a player coach, like someone like you or Bill Russell. Like you guys are in about the same tier, but you go right from player to player coach.
Yeah,
NFL does usually work that way.
Yeah, but anyways, so we're getting better on the bets. We're starting to put it down. Yeah. We're starting to make some ground. We're starting to get around.
Yeah, so
it was all rhymed. That whole thing just rhymed that time. That was not easy. Go ahead.
Come on, it was a little bit forced, and I'm a Dylan fan. Like Dylan could do like 8 verses in a row where everything rhymes. You wouldn't understand any of it, but
Dylan would do 8 verses, and by the second verse, I would be cuddled up somewhere in the back, taking a Dylan nap. That's what I'd be doing, Kev. I don't want to get into it right now. But,
a Dylan. All right, yeah. You know what? I want to hear about a Dylan nap. We'll save it for.
The best. You sleep right through. Oh, the best we've ever get.
All right. So moving swiftly along as we always do. I mean, like these podcasts are known for quickly moving through topics. So this week, again, I started watching a lot more basketball, and it's kind of funny because I like the sport, and the other thing that's great is the girlfriend Ashley. She likes watching it too, so it's like it's a win-win. Whereas football, it's like almost like a job. You got to commit 3 hours a game, and she hates it, and I'm trying to explain what's going on. I'm trying to explain it because she doesn't care enough, but I'm still trying to explain it. Whereas basketball, back and forth. So so this week,
can I say something though? On
Go
behalf
ahead.
of all men, and your girlfriend's probably within earshot of this broadcast, or you have the headphones on, so maybe she can't hear me. Either way, it's one or the other. But let me tell you something. She's lying to you. She doesn't like watching basketball. She's just sitting there pretending, Kev. Pretending. She's pretending to like basketball because you know what you just said to me right there? You know what you referred to her as? Her surname was? Girlfriend. Kev, when she becomes anything more than a girlfriend, you think she's going to sit there on the couch and let you watch basketball? You're a genius. Please tell me you get this part of it. Like, you know that. That'll never. She's going to go from, I like watching it to shut this off. Put this on. You're just talking about a girlfriend. There's different levels to that stuff. Right.
All right. See, now I have to think about all this. Now I have to think about it all. But either way, so Tuesday night rolls around, and I was like, okay, hey, I watched a couple of games. So 7:30, I watched the Wizards and the Bucks, and it's weird. Like watching these teams play. Bucks are obviously the better team. Like we all know that, but like they're not an unbelievably well. Like they're not unbelievably well run. Like Giannis had to take over the fourth quarter to make sure they got the win. And what he does, he's unbelievably dominant, and he's really, really amazing to watch. And Middleton, and of course, I forgot the other guy's name. Their big three are really cool, but I don't think they're a super strong team. And when I watch them play, like if Giannis doesn't turn it on, they're in serious trouble. It was really good to like watch their offense and watch their defense. When he's off the court, not good, not good at all.
They're not a very pretty team to speak of. But they're also the kind of team that you just don't want to end up in a 7-game series with.
Yeah,
because Giannis will take 3 just because he's him, and then there's a good chance they'll beat you on the next.
Yeah, one of the coolest things. So when Giannis gets the ball on the block, most of the time he shoots a fadeaway jumper. And when you watch, because he's so big and he's so athletic, when he launches a fadeaway jumper, he's at the block. When he shoots it, he's like halfway to the 3-point line. It's so cool to watch because he's like that freakishly athletic. It reminds me of like Ralph Sampson when he would shoot a fadeaway jumper, except Giannis is like muscle. And I was like, how's this guy ever going to block this shot? Like the defender is never going to block it. So that was really cool to watch. And like when Giannis gets angry and he's inside, there's nothing you can do. There's nothing you can do about it.
No. But all right. But doesn't that bother you though? Isn't that one of them LeBron moments? Like when you see him when you see a player do something where, all right, look, if they do it for like a couple times in a row, it's just they got hot. They caught a streak. I buy that. But when it's a domination type thing where they dominate for a couple of minutes, that's something that can be replicated. If I can dominate somebody on basketball, I'm gonna do it on every single play. I don't care. I'm not gonna do it like only on the fourth quarter or only 4 plays or when I have the energy, the most energy. Like that's the problem I have with stuff like that, though, dude. Like it's like, yeah, I agree with you. He can take over games, and then it's just like. Yeah. But like, he doesn't do it every game, so I have a hard time with that.
Yeah, and like that's a part like guys like you and I will never understand because Jordan, Bird, Magic, Bart, like all those guys we always name, they took over every night. Like they took over 80 nights a year, and I don't get why that's impossible now. I don't think it's impossible now. I think it's like this different mindset where it's accepted that you don't, and I don't get it. But anyway. So that was cool seeing Dante DiVincenzo play, like seeing him back in the rotation. That was cool to watch. The other thing, one thing I hated, this is what I hate about the modern NBA. They were talking about Bobby Portis, who I love his look. He seems like he's crazy. He seems like after the Bucks won the championship, I would have probably wanted to go out with Bobby Portis because he'd probably been like, "Hey, look, we're going here." Like, hey, the rest of the teams, no, we're going here. And like they were like. Oh, Bobby Portis started as like an inside guy, and he's become an outside guy as his game has matured. And I'm like, he's a center. He's like their start. What do you mean he's become an outside guy as his game has matured? I hate it. I hate that part. But
you know what that means? You know that's code for he's getting better at shooting. Period. From practice and playing for all these years. That's all that they're saying right there. But they're just sprucing it up and making it sound dramatic. He's getting better. His range is increasing. Dude, anybody who keeps shooting and shooting and shooting and shooting, I hope to Christ they get better. And if they get better, they're going to get better here so they can move out a couple feet. And then you get good there, you can go out a couple more feet. Next thing you know, oh, look at you shooting
three-pointers. which, by the way, let's be honest, never happened for us. Yeah, exactly. All right, so now on the Washington side, I don't actually have much to say. They're not a very good team. I don't know how they were streaking at the beginning of the season. The only thing I have to say about Washington is I thought Rui Hachimura was Japanese because of his name. He's not. He's a really tall black guy. But Hachimura sounded like a Japanese name to me, so I thought
Was
it
he
was a Japanese
adopted?
guy.
Was he adopted? No,
I don't
really.
know.
Was he born in?
Like,
Did you do your research? Did you do your math?
no, I just went by the name, because I don't know. I just went by the name,
I
and
can't believe it. I'm sorry, Kev. I just got breaking news in again. Brian Flores, former coach of the Dolphins, has now increased his lawsuit to include you and those last couple of comments.
Which one?
That's all. Go ahead.
Which ones?
Yeah, that's all. That was all. What?
Which
you were just
comment?
saying? I don't know. What you were just saying right prior to that. It was not. I don't think. I think you got offended or something. Something happened. But they're already talking. You'll HR will call you tomorrow early. Early.
I don't like early calls, and early calls from HR. Well,
You know what the best part is, though? You had to hear from a guy like me who's so used to that.
Yeah.
That goes, ooh, that's too early.
Yeah.
I don't like that. Remember my immediate reaction to that was, ooh, that's too early. I don't like that. And I said to you, that happened to me once. I was on a week-long vacation. They told me to come in bright and early on a Monday. I'm thinking, why do I got to come in so early?
yeah, that was phenomenal because like we were driving back and I was like, ooh, 6:30 a.m. meeting. That's not going to be good. And we laughed about it. Yeah.
Like, are they always 6:30? No, maybe. Why is it 6:30? Maybe he wants to catch up on where we left. Yeah, maybe that's what he wants to catch up on. After you tell me about the story, that other story, I'm like, yeah, maybe that's what he wants to catch up on.
Yeah. Exactly. So yeah, I
couldn't wait to go heave ho.
He's like, yeah, this didn't take that long. I was like, why would you think it would? Like, I'm not going to beg. Like, anyway, by the way,
what's my play here? It's 6:30 in the morning. Like, really, what do you want me to do at 6:30 in the morning? I'd be like, yeah, sorry, it didn't work out. Yep. No. All right. No. Yeah. No. I'll call you guys later. That works.
My best move was, I guess I don't have to go to any more meetings, right? He's like, no. I'm like, okay. And went to sleep.
The best part, right?
Anyway,
that was the best part. All right.
Yeah. So anyway, Rui Hachimura is not some like slightly short, slick, yakuza type, like fast moving Japanese guy, point guard. He's a big black guy, and I didn't know that. But it was cool to see him back because I know he had a lot of personal issues that he worked out, and he's playing again for the Wizards. But they were no match for the Bucks.
No,
so that's that.
Be.
Okay, all right. Next one, same night. I watched the Nets play the Suns. Now, when we talk about the Celtics, about people that don't like each other?
Yep.
Kyrie Irving and James Harden do not like each other. Have you ever watched them play together? They're trying to play the Suns, and like the Suns are like a great basketball team. Lots of passes, open jumpers, like 3-pointers in the corner. You got people, and I forgot the guy's last name. I think it was Anderson. He missed like his first 3 corner threes, and he just keeps shooting because he's confident with the team they have. And you got Devin Booker, who I want to give you credit for something you said. Booker was out for a number of weeks when he was hurt, but he sat courtside at every game and watched the Suns play without him. He knows his role now so well. Watching him play is fun again. Like in the finals, he was a tough watch at the end of the finals. He knows his role. And like he's one of these guys, and I wish I thought of this when I was actually younger and playing. Like he has he has spots, and like he just dribble to a spot, get on the ball, money every single time. Like the Suns are awesome to watch. Then you watch Brooklyn. They're not a fun watch. Like they don't play like a team in any way. Like they will not win the championship. I don't care what anybody said. They in this current incarnation, they're done. They're cooked.
Well, here's the thing too with those supposed big three. Which one of those three is the guy that pulls everybody aside and gets them, like hypes them up? Like think about it for a second. None of them. Not one of them has that bone in their body to be that leader of men. Not one of them.
Yeah, so just say, look, guys, we can't, like, look, you do this, like this is what we're gonna do. Fucking focus up and let's go. I guarantee they never do that.
And then playing with LeBron is like taking a cruise, and Godzilla's coming. And he's gonna sink the cruise. He's just gonna sink. Nah, he's coming. He's coming. What are you gonna do? He's Godzilla, and then you got to pretend like, oh, hey, Godzilla, how are you? Yeah, you been to the front deck? I see it's
Well,
missing.
how did you get to LeBron?
Because it's the same thing. Like the Nets, the Lakers, are they going to come together? Are they going to work well together? Who's the leader? Who's going to talk to all these superstars on these teams? Who can bring them together? And on both teams, not one person can.
Yeah.
LeBron's just Godzilla in the sense that he just, you can't ignore him. He's the whole team in a sense. Like wherever Godzilla moves, well, that's what's going to happen. You know what I mean? It's like we got no choice. Godzilla can do whatever the frig he wants. He can destroy any city, and we got to just watch it. All right, he can go back to the water, and we got to just watch it. But we play with Godzilla. You know what I mean?
Yes, that's awful, but like
or something like that.
So a couple of other things on the Nets. So road game. So Kyrie's playing, and like him and Harden score some points, and whatever. They lose by 10. They should have lost by 20. They had one rally where they got close, but like I haven't really liked James Harden in years and years and years. But I would actually love, so now KD is hurt. Kyrie only plays on the road. So there's a bunch of games where Harden is like the only guy, and he doesn't even talk to anyone. You're like, so I would love to just hang out with him and just be like, just tell me what's going on in your head? I hate the beard. I don't like the way you play, but you're obviously super effective. Like he didn't sign his extension, so he's looking to leave Brooklyn. What is going on in that guy's head that he still plays every night? Like I would love to know. It's awful.
There doesn't have to be anything going on in his head. If we're being honest about this topic,
well,
I mean, because what's going on in Kyrie? If you want to play that game, what's going on in Kyrie's head?
Kyrie is afraid of being completely irrelevant. That's the only reason why he's playing. Like Harden could say, you know what, I have mental issues, I have personal issues, I need to step away from the team. But he just goes out every night and he grinds with a bunch of guys. Like if you and I, let's just say Harden dribbled up the court and you and I were on the wings, he would act the same way he acts in any other game. Like he doesn't care. It's so weird to watch. And like that's how I know like the Nets are dead. The Nets have no soul. They're completely dead. No soul.
I said at the beginning of this season that I believe that this year was the commencement of the out with the old, in with the new. Get rid of these super teams and old superstars from the past, technically, 10 years ago at least. Let all these young kids, these young teams, let them move up. And it's slowly happening. It's not going to happen really fast, but you watch when the retirements start happening, it's going to just it's going to shift. And it's happening.
Yeah, it's gonna when it starts, it's one of these things. It's like one of my favorite quotes of all is a Hemingway novel. How do you go broke? Slowly at first, then all at once. So that's how this is going to go. It's going to be a retirement here, a retirement there, a team creeping up. Then all of a sudden, the whole guard is going to have been changed from an old guard to a new guard. Like that's just the way it works. Like it's not slow transition.
One of my favorite phrases, Kev, is well, it's not really a phrase. Basically, it's how do you make an Eagles fan a small business owner? You give them a large business and just wait. That's bad. My bad.
That was good. Like it wasn't. Mine was relevant. Yeah, late whistle. I can do that. Late whistle.
I hate late whistle. Yeah. Nothing worse than late whistle.
Everyone hates late whistles. All right, so that was Tuesday night. Like I'm so happy I'm watching games again because it's like you can figure out stuff so fast. So Wednesday night, Grizzlies at Knicks. Grizzlies win 120-108. Now, I watched this entire game. If you want to see two teams with completely different energy, watch this game. The Grizzlies are like fire. They're like lightning in a bottle. Like they're fast, they're aggressive, and the Knicks just plod up and down, and like then they get like every once in a while they'll make a couple of good defensive stops and a couple of weird offensive plays where Randall's stupid junk that he throws up goes in, blah blah blah. But right before the half, fast break on the Grizzlies side, like Jaws dribbling up the center, passes to a guy on the wing, goes to the side and up, and the guy on the wing passes it back to him, jams it like rim rattler, and I'm like shaking Ashley. I'm like, you have to watch this play. You have to watch this. Like, and the Knicks are just like do back the other way. Like Memphis is all energy, and the Knicks are like an energy drain. Like they're so not fun to watch. Like, what are they doing? Like, what are they doing?
Can I be honest?
Yeah.
So when you shake your girlfriend, you tell her, "Oh, you just missed a great play."
Yeah.
When the replay happens, are you expecting her to watch it, and go,
Yeah.
"Oh, wow"? Is that what you're expecting to get back from her?
She does. I'm alone. What am I going to do? What am I going to text you? Hey, Mike, turn on your TV, rewind, watch this dunk.
Okay, I don't DVR. I don't DVR. That's a whole other story. I don't DVR. But
you got to work with what you have.
But that's kind of like, you know, when you throw a ball for your dog, but he misses you throwing it. He doesn't see you throw it, so you're trying to explain to him where it is, and you're going like, "It's right there, dude. Right there, right there." And basically, what you're hoping is that he can look at your finger and follow this imaginary line you're pointing to that ball. That's kind of like telling her to watch this play. She's going, and it's going. It happened in front of her. I'm telling you, I'm not in no disrespect to her, but she's watching it because she loves you, and it's just going like this. There's not a single thing that's like nothing.
See, but I try to like pick my spots. I don't do this every 3 seconds. It's like once or twice a game. That's my thing. So I think like, hey, this is serious. And she, because it was like the steal over back, like rim rattle and like hung drop. It like I think everybody can appreciate that, right? Can everybody appreciate that?
Yeah, not really. No, if they don't, I mean, the fact that it's a girlfriend, yeah, I guess. Like I said, but the minute that she's married to you, she's not gonna care about that. She look, unless that guy steals it, bakes a cake, has a contest against other people that bake cakes, goes back to like the fucking 1800s and does something and saves somebody, comes back, it's something to do with vampires, and the next thing you know, it's just like horrible TV.
Survives underwater for like 7 hours, and then comes out.
Yep. Yeah.
But anyway, the point there is like the Grizzlies play with so much freaking energy, and like they're phenomenal to watch. I don't know if they're mature enough to win it to beat the Suns in a 7-game series or what. But like watching them play the Knicks, who are supposed to be this disciplined, like, hey, we should win, 43, 44 games, was an embarrassment. It was like they need to get rid of Thibodeau. They need to just accept who they are and realize that the Grizzlies team is the future, and you are not going in that direction at all. You're not going in that direction. Does that make sense?
I think it makes sense. I don't, to quote Big Stu, I think they just don't get it, the Knicks. Their coach has the future on the bench. You know what I mean? Like, let them play and lose anyways, because they'll be good from that. Not sitting the bench is getting him no help. So they have the future on the bench. The Knicks are just, it's a bad organization. It's been forever littered by dumb moves. It's just so apropos that a Jets fan would be a Knicks fan. That's the Quinella. That's the perfecta of doom.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah. All right, so the last game I watched this week was Nuggets at the Jazz. And Jazz won 108-104. Nuggets, Jokic didn't play for the Jazz. What's his name? Donovan Mitchell was out. Gobert was out. And you want to talk about, and you bring this up all the time, two boring teams. It's awful. And Joe Ingles is out for Utah. It's awful to watch. Like, how is that like a marquee matchup? Like the NBA, if we were really honest, and you just got the teams that were like solid and had like this crazy exceptional talent, they'd probably be like 10 teams. But yet the Jazz always, rack up enough wins, and the Nuggets are racking up enough wins. It was so boring. I fell asleep at least 3 times. Like, I can't tell you one positive thing about it. Like, Mike Conley scored 20-something points. Who cares? Like Denver, Will Barton scored a bunch of points. Who cares? Like neither one of these teams is going anywhere. Utah needs to realize, like, they're not a top 2 team. Like, they got to just get out. Like, they have to redo it all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're not. You don't think they got the center, they got the star. You don't think they're one more person away from flipping it?
How Utah's always been one person away from flipping it. Like, there's something about it. Like, I don't know if it's in the water or it's because it's in Utah, because it's in Salt Lake City.
Yeah,
I don't know what it is. But, like, could you picture the Jazz beating the Suns in a 7-game series, or the Jazz beating the Warriors in a 7-game series, or the Jazz beating the Grizzlies in a 7-game series?
No, because I feel like the Jazz would be the team constantly having to adjust.
Yeah, this is what we talked about. Yeah,
and I don't know if that would work out for the Jazz.
No, that's the thing. It's like this. They're in this weird limbo where they play this style of basketball that wins a lot of games, but like they don't have the actual enough of the talent to go beyond that. Like, the playoffs is all about going beyond what you normally do.
It's the playoffs. The playoffs is about having the right people at the right time. Like I'm telling you, that's why teams like the Lakers and the Nets have more weight to them because of the playoffs. Like, in a 7-game series, they're the type of team that, like, God help me, you can't tell me you can't put that team together and win a game. You know what I mean? Like, they can't. They got to win one. They got to be able to go out there and just win a game just based on the fact they get 3 Hall of Famers, the Nets.
What?
So it's like, that's what's going to happen, I think, in the playoffs. But the playoffs is not just that. You got to be ready. Like, your starting 5 is got to be money, and you got to go at least 3 to 4 deep with, like, 2 solid deep. Like, that's to me, that's how the teams are built right now.
Yeah, and like, I agree with what you said. It's like where so the part I agree with is, if your big 3 is better than mine, and let's just say it's like the Nets, where they don't communicate, they don't even play together, but you have more talent, and my team doesn't communicate either, you'll beat me. But if I have slightly less talent, but we play together and we play hard, we're going to beat you. If my team has somebody in the huddle that's going to be like, shut him the F down. Do not let him get an open 3 on the wing. I don't care what you have to do. Versus the 3 of them that they'll never tell each other how to play. They'll never say, you know what, Harden, like, this is not the time for banging the ball into the ground for 20 seconds.
But the issue is with those guys is that you could tell a guy on your team, don't let one of those guys, whoever it is, get a shot off. Yeah. And you're basically saying, go jump out a 80-foot building and try to survive. They always get their shots off those 3. That's what they can do. That's the worst part about it. Like, you can't lock them down. That's my point. So if one of them wants to put on an exhibition in the first half, the other guy can score 40 in the second half. If they can figure it out how they all can have their moments, piece them together, they might win some games. That's how freaking good they are.
Yeah, exactly. Because they're like 3 of the top 12 or 15 players on the planet, and like that's true. But I think if you have close to that talent, which some other teams have their own big 3s, but you play together and you have mental toughness, I think you can beat them. Because if you know how it works, if you don't want to play together, you don't care if you lose. If you don't care if you lose, you're going to lose. You know what like, does that make sense? Like, if you don't care, you're going to lose. Like Michael Jordan, Tom Brady, like all these guys, like LeBron never looked like he cared if he lost.
He makes it good. He makes it look good. He does the facial expressions. He just never makes it look like it gets to him. Like, it eats him up inside. That's the difference. Those other guys, when they would lose, they didn't want to talk to you. They didn't want to talk at all. They were, like, depressed. They needed to win next year.
Yeah. All right, so here's the best thing I heard about the Nets this week. You know what their record is when their big three plays together?
The Nets?
Yeah,
No.
13-3. Now, what jumps out at you with that record?
Just that it's 10 wins over the loss thing.
Okay, that's one part of it. How many games is it total? 16.
16.
They've been together for a season and a half. That's 120 games. They've only played plus playoffs. They've only played 16 games together out of a possible 120 something. That's insanity. How is that possible?
Because of the three people we're talking about, man.
Exactly. That's why they'll never win.
Yeah, but again, you're trying to tell me you can't see them coming together for a playoff series and beating a team?
For a series, yeah, but not for 3.
I don't trust that. How could you trust a team like that? You know what I mean? They
I
got
don't.
3 assassins. Like. So that's why I hope these other teams, especially the young ones, keep playing hard, and this doesn't happen. Like we don't have to sit through a Nets Laker like Armageddon championship.
There's no way that'll happen. Like, dude, I'll see how the Nets. The weird thing is the East is such a strange division. Like the Sixers have like their problems. The Bulls have their problems. All the teams at the top.
Hey, Kev, we all have our own problems. Is what you're trying to say?
Yeah, and so they could actually squeak out. There's no way the Lakers get out of the West. If the Lakers get out of the West, I probably will never talk basketball again. Like that would ruin my life.
What if they made it to the finals?
Yeah. All right, so again, now that I'm watching basketball and seeing these teams play, it's so much more fun as like trying to get some character to them. So now we're going to pivot a little bit. We're going to talk about the games.
Pivot.
Oh, by the way, I watch Friends. Friends is a footnote in history. Seinfeld is like this towering epoch of like TV comedy. Whereas Friends, I hate it. Anytime I watch Friends now, I hate it.
I like Friends, still like it. Seinfeld to me, got ruined by Larry David's show, Curb Your Enthusiasm, because that's so much better than Seinfeld in my opinion. But no one agrees with me.
Oh, I totally agree with
you
that.
can see where the sense of humor comes from. Like to me, it's like a better Seinfeld. I feel like that was what Seinfeld was going for. But, throw in Jerry with his corny jokes. Like, I'm not a Seinfeld fan. I'm not a big fan of his comedy. Like, I'm a big fan of comedians. I don't like Jerry Seinfeld's stand-up. It's cute. And it's, oh, wow. How do you think of that? But it doesn't speak to anybody.
It's like I love stand-up. I know you love stand-up. We both like comedy a lot. We both see shows, and like not everyone I like you like, not everyone you like I like. The thing with Seinfeld that I bet we both agree on, it doesn't age well. It's like weak. Like there's no one like 50 years from now, no one's gonna be like, you have to go listen to Seinfeld and how he did it. It does not age well.
Well, he's all right. He tells the perfect joke in the sense of like how a joke should be delivered and done, but it's like he does it so smooth and he's so good at it that he makes it look too easy. That's literally what the Seinfeld issue is. You know what I mean? He just tells jokes that are too easy. On top of that, what bothered me the most was, and this relates to basketball, he was talking like they had this round group of comedians, and he was talking about how he still does like 80% of his old act and 20% new. That's how he did it for a long time. And then he made a big deal out of like how, like, I don't know, 10 years ago, whatever it was, he threw everything out and wrote a new hour. And I'm like, guys like Burr and Carlin before him and guys like that, they do new hours almost every year to 2 years.
Yep.
So don't talk to me about how you've been doing 80-20 your whole career. And now you're going to do a new hour and we should be excited. Like, you're a goddamn comedian. You should be able to come up 4 or 5 hours, my friend. Give me a break. What do you mean, an hour? Another hour? Oh, thanks, Jerry. Now you have 2 hours of stand-up. That's why I was never impressed. No, it's true. He's at 2 stand-up specials. That's it. All the same jokes.
Yeah,
So why
yeah,
would you
exactly.
want to see him? He goes, most people are there for the nostalgia of it, to see the guy.
No.
It's like, no, man, I want to hear something funny, and I don't want to hear something I've already heard.
Exactly. That's how I am too. That's why when I go see a Dylan show, I want to hear new shit. I don't want to hear "Blowing in the Wind," although you'd already be asleep. But I don't want to hear that. I want to hear something new.
Let me ask you
But
something. You think he knows when he's playing something new, or what is your thought process on that? Do you think that it sinks in? Does anybody? Hey, Bob, this is new, sounding good. I don't think that does it ever happen. They should zoom in on that. I would like to see the side footage of that. They have that audio. They remember Enrique Iglesias, the kid, the son, where his name is. He had that "Baila Amor," and Howard Stern had just from the sound booth. Somebody just took his vocals, and he wasn't on key at all. Like he's like "Baila Amor." It's just there's been singers and people like that they've done that too, and they can do that too because what they do is they just take the feed of you singing to your microphone live on stage. Now, a lot of these dum-dums are running around, moving. They can't breathe. You can't run and sing. It is a fact. Like, it's really hard to do. You get winded eventually, right? So to see what they do to the vocals in the first place is amazing. But I'm thinking with Dylan, do they know if it's in? You know what I mean? Like, my favorite story was of Dum Dum went to the show with you, and he said, when's Bob Dylan coming on? And he said, and Dum Dum said you gave him like the dirtiest look, and then just turned away from him and didn't answer him. And he was like actually offended because he thought you were just doing that to be a dick. And he was like, no, he was literally looking around for someone to tell him. And apparently Dylan was on the whole time.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
Kev didn't even answer me. He wouldn't even answer me. He just looked at me like disgusted and turned away.
Yeah, because that was at I think we saw him at Brandeis.
Yeah. Was it happened? You going Wednesday? He coming on stage? You must have been like,
yeah, and like the best thing, like I don't think I'm like tough. I don't think I'm a tough guy. Like that's not my style. But at Brandeis, I was tough. Like it was a general admission thing. We cut the line. We like swooped in, got right to the stage because like they're Brandeis kids. What are they gonna do?
Oh, dude, I've been in I could tell you so many Brandeis stories. You would not even believe it. I've had so many adventures at Brandeis. My favorite, and it's a meaningless story, but I'll tell it anyways. My favorite was we went there and Phillips did not want us associating with his college friends because we always ended up telling him stories about how he was an idiot and the dumb things he did. So he would sequester us. So one time he literally locked us in his basement.
What?
And yeah, so we couldn't get out, and threw a bag of marijuana and was like, just hang out in here. I'll come get you guys. He never came to get us. We spent most of the night there. But my story was Dum Dum did too much of whatever that was. And I don't know if you remember when you're in your early 20s, you stop panicking, and he was like turning white. He's turning pale. And he was like, he couldn't move. We kept saying he couldn't move. And he was laying there. He decided to lay down, and he's laying down, and he's like, oh, help me. I'm not feeling good. And Larry goes over and grabs his hands and goes like this. Look. He crossed him like that. He was looking for a flower in the bushes to put in his hands, right? We're trying to put flowers in his hands. People are this is by the time we get outside. People, because when we finally got out of there, we walked out like, let's just go walk the streets of Brandeis. And then Dum Dum just laid down on the grass. And then we just kept telling everybody he was dead because he was white, right? And he's laying there like this, the flower. And they go, what's wrong with him? He's dead. No, I'm not. Like it's like a Monty Python shit. We're like, he'll be dead soon.
No, I'm not.
We're like, don't worry about it. He'll be dead soon.
All right. So how we got to this part of the conversation was talking with Jerry Seinfeld. You said I want to hear new stuff, and I had to flip it back to Dylan and say, yeah, like when he plays, I want to hear new stuff too. All right. So who is this?
That's Madonna.
How?
Well, all right. First,
How?
she got cheek
Talk
filler.
about old stuff.
Wait.
How?
Let me tell you about her. First, she got that cheek filler, which women don't do it. It doesn't make you look good. It makes you look like a Persian cat or a catfish. See how the Kev, I was kind of go like that, comes up? Gross. Second of all, if you're over the age of 40, hell, 35, 30 to 35, you shouldn't be such a muscular person. As guys, it's like, I don't know what you're looking for, Kev, when you look at females, but I'm not a big fan of when a girl is like got shredded abs and she's like ripped. It's like, yeah, I look back to like the old soft skin, not much muscle, not a lot of muscle tone, but like attractive. Like this thing over here, Madonna, who is the biggest hypocrite that's ever existed in the face of music. Like she is like just the worst case of like bad publicity and hype. And she still wants to fool around with young guys, and God bless her. But Madonna, you look like a catfish, an Italian catfish with bleach blonde hair. She looks like she's coming to get me. Does she not look like a cat? Look at her cheeks. Look at the filler in her cheeks, Kev. See how, like, when you look at leprey eyes, my eyes sink and there's little darkness under my eyes? Because, like, there's an area where there's a darkness under my eyes, Kev. Well, if I was to pull this and yank this shit up here and fill in here, see how it's smooth? There'd be nothing under my eyes. I'd just be this big pink head.
Well, the first time we do the post plastic surgery show is going to be awesome. But like,
dude,
she's 63. She's 63.
Oh yeah, I know. She should, dude.
60.
Look, if I walked by Madonna, I would kick some dirt on her and be like, "Let's get it on with. Let's get this over with. Let's get her out of the way. Put her in the ground. We're done with her. We're done."
See, like the thing that I want to know, right? Okay, she look like, how old does she look? If you had to guess, if you saw that person, you know it was Madonna, what would you guess?
So Kev,
30s,
not
35?
to steal another comedian's bit, but I don't know how old she is, Kev, because I've never seen that age before.
Yeah, well,
I don't know how old that is. You can't show that to me because in my whole life I've never seen that.
yeah,
So I'm
well,
like, it's either right. It's either a 24-year-old cat woman. It could be a 50 to 60-year-old woman who has a hard time letting go. You know what I mean? We're not all bangable into our 60s, nor should we be. Nor should we be. Nor should we be. Like, there is a time, Madonna, where you step aside and let the 40-year-olds have some fun.
No, she's not. Like,
Let the 50-year-olds have some fun, Madonna. Step aside. Let the 50-year-olds have some fun.
Here's what I want to know, though. Okay, like remember, like The Irishman, right? They had like De Niro, Pesci, like they CGI made them younger, but they also had like posture specialists on set to be like, hey, you can't walk with slumped shoulders because you're 40. You can't, like, even though you're 70 playing a 35-year-old, your posture has to be right. So what does she move like? Does she walk and move like a 63-year-old?
All right.
Or does she walk and move like a 35-year-old? Because she looks like she's about 35.
She could walk like a 20-year-old. It doesn't matter. I don't even want to get into what I think of the smells that emit from Madonna. She's gross. She's just not a. I don't want. Look, I mean, for real. Like, if your ego. I mean, I guess she's a brand, and but it's an ego thing. If you let your ego change yourself, man, you look at like I actually have to get nose surgery, so that's coming up. So you're eventually within the next year going to see my face change.
Oh, here we go.
And have a straight nose for the first time, right?
It's good for you, but it's not good for her.
It's because I have one nostril closed now. That's what the doctor said. So I'm terrified of it, and I said to him, I don't want to look different. And he said, but it's crooked. You're going to get it fixed. I said, yeah, I just don't want to look different. You know what I mean? I don't want to look in the mirror after surgery and be like, what the frick happened to my face? I gotta be a blonde Italian catfish. Like, what happened? I'm not ready for that. I'm not even good at being me. You know what I mean? Like, I can't have that happen. Like, look at that shit. Like, dude,
I'm getting.
imagine
I'm
the
getting
worst
hip.
part about this. The worst part about this is, Kev. To quote Andrew Dice Clay, you take her out, throw some food down her throat, take her to a movie, you go home, you finally decompress, you lay down, you look over, and she's still there.
Oh,
That's what's wrong with Madonna. Oh my God. Imagine waking up to that, Kev. Imagine what that looks like in the morning without the makeup. Like the skin might be like a lump. Like, what if you look like her face was hanging and shit? I'm not ready for this stuff. Too futuristic. Save it for the metaverse.
all right. So here's the thing. I'm slightly hypnotized by it, and I think I want this to be the new background for the basketball show. I'm like strangely hypnotized. It's the eyes and the rings, like the four.
Let me ask you this. Did you know how many DeBarges there were in the music industry?
DeBarge?
Yeah.
I know. Yeah, all right,
you know the band is El DeBarge.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
You know how many solo albums came out from the DeBarges?
No
Ever
idea.
hear Bunny DeBarge?
No, but I love that name.
That's one of them. There are about 5 or 6 different DeBarge solo artists. There's that one that's the main DeBarge. I don't know what the hell his name is, but there's like 6 or 7 literally different albums made by DeBarges. You didn't know that, did you, Kev?
I had no idea.
No, not at all. Now, did you know that Madonna also released that video on Instagram that made it look like she was part of like the whole? She's bathing in milk. That's the video, and she's talking about the virus and how it doesn't like discriminate. It doesn't care about money. It's gonna get us all. And she's in a tub of milk with like rose petals or something, and
Why?
she's trying to tell us about the virus and what it's coming for. And it sounded like she was like saying like she was sorry for all the rich shit she did, and it was coming for her too. And it was just like,
What?
why am I watching Madonna bathe in a tub of milk? Why is that? It was a big thing on Instagram, man. It was a big. When the virus came out, Madonna was one of the first people to do one of those little videos. And then right after that, they locked us down. The next video was give peace a chance, or all those actors sang that Beatles song. And it made me hate like 26 actors. Like I had to hate now 26 actors. So it's like, guys, the last thing I need is to be sung like, oh, Imagine. It was Imagine.
Oh, all right, we're done. Yeah, all right.
It was led by Gail Godot. That video was a disgrace to the song Imagine. Kev, you know what we got to practice? I'm going to say people that are alive, and I'll say like they're rolling over their grave, and you could always say, "Oh, Mike, they're alive," and then I'll say, and then what I'll say. But so let's try it because I want to show you what I'll do. Oh, this type of stuff will make Madonna roll in her grave.
Wait, King, she's still alive.
Oh, then this would kill her.
That's awful. That's awful. Like, what are we like the 20s? Like, is that what we're doing?
Yeah, no. That's my advertised solo line. That's my comeback. Whenever you say that, so whenever you hear me say that, just say, no, they're still alive. And I'll go, oh, well, this kill them.
That's awful. All right, no, we're not doing that. Okay, so this is a basketball show. Somehow we went to Seinfeld, to Dylan, to Madonna. So we're gonna
because I'll segue. Many basketball players have been inside Madonna.
Oh, whoa.
I meant inside her life, her whole reality. What were you talking about?
Whoa.
What happened here?
I want that to my new background. My lawyer's going to call your lawyer.
Wait, did Madonna make a whole book of pictures of her having sex with people?
That was like in the 80s.
Daddy Kane.
Oh, Big Daddy
Rodman.
Kane. Oh,
Rodman. Yeah, Big Daddy Kane was one of them. Oh, God, yeah. Rodman was in there. I think it was the Knicks, the Nets, the Lakers, Celtics, Pistons, Bucks, That's it. All those guys had sex with her too.
All right. Well, look. One
I
of the
hate
best.
Madonna. She's the worst. She has
I gotta.
talent.
All
She's
right. So we're moving on. We're moving on. We're gonna talk about basketball. Like I just saw that picture. My girlfriend showed me that picture last night, and it threw me for a tailspin. And somehow we logically went from Seinfeld to Dylan to Madonna. Now we're back off that. We're going back to the NBA because we.
Sorry to interrupt, Kev. We have breaking news. Brian Flores has dropped all charges against the NFL and NFL teams and is now dating Madonna. Kev, back to you.
Are you sure?
They just handed me the. You know how
So-
news works. They handed me the thing. I read it to you. What do you want me to tell you?
Does that mean he lost the lawsuits?
Yeah, but he gained a really rich catfish. He really did. You know what? I would love to see Madonna own a team. Let her own a basketball team.
Did she date what's his name? A-Rod, who partially owned a team. Did she date somebody who was part of the Devil Rays?
Kev. See, every time I start to bring up what type of person she is, you blow that whistle, you get mad at me. But now you're going to bring up guys you think she might have dated. You could throw anybody from the 1990s on out loud, and I'll go, yeah, she was with him for a little bit too. What? What did I say?
All right, we're moving on. We have 8 minutes left. Wow. It was all it was supposed to be was a little bit of a, hey, look at her. She looks. It's crazy the way she looks at in this at her age. Blah blah blah. We'll move on. Instead, I think you may have a little bit of latent issues with Madonna.
Yeah, I already said that. 10 minutes before you just said what you just said, I said I had issues with Madonna. What kind of what? You know what? If you were my therapist right now, I'd be like, look, dude, I gotta go. I'm not calling you again Monday because you weren't listening to me. I just said what you just told me I said. I might have issues. Yeah, I think I do. Kev, I got issues with Madonna. Blah, 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 blah. I think you might have issues. Oh, you think? Genius.
I would take really good notes, and then I feel really bad about missing that part of the notes. And I'd say, hey, look, let's give it like another couple of weeks.
You know what?
No? All right, look, 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock. All right, so we're going to talk gambling for a little bit here because that's supposedly what we do on the show. So last night I was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5-2 last night. Nets -5 did not cash, those assholes. Celtics Charlotte under hit. Grizzlies -4 hit. Magic team total over 111 hit. Magic +3.5 hit. Wizards +10.5 hit. And Joel Embiid over 32.5 did not hit. So last night was a good night. So we're gonna try to pour that into tonight, and we have only 2 games left, thankfully. And let's see, why am I on football? So we have the Lakers at the Clippers. Lakers +3.5 at the Clippers. Over under 220. Now in terms of injuries, let's see. Obviously, the big 2 are out for the Clippers. Who else? Injuries. So for the Lakers, Malik Monk probably out. LeBron is out tonight. On the Clippers, Zubac is out, and Jay Scrub is out. But AD should be playing for LA. So here we are. King, what do you think about that? The Lakers going to the Clippers, getting 3.
Well, I think with AD playing, it should be enough to beat the goddamn Clippers, but I still don't like them tonight. I still don't like the Lakers.
Why?
I don't know. There's just something about them there is. I don't trust the Lakers right now.
That's the whole thing. Like, yeah, that's the whole thing. Like, what is there to trust about them? They're on a 3-game losing streak. Sorry, they won last night. They beat Portland, who sucks. Who we actually picked Portland. Sorry, they won on Monday, and they lost the 3 previous. Like they're 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They're 4-8 over their last 12. Not a great team. So how do you bet this? Like, why go with the Clippers?
All right. I would say go with the Clippers just based on the fact that I don't trust. I just said this, but I don't. The Lakers, especially in a game like this, it's always the battle of LA. The Clippers always have the chip on their shoulder because they are the little brother. They're the Jets to the Giants. It's just what it is, and they want, to be the main team. They've wanted to for a long time now. So I always feel like the Clippers always play hard against the Lakers, and the Lakers have their own issues that have nothing to do with anybody else. They're just like it's like dealing with somebody just messed up in the head. Remember when what's his face, the boxer, wouldn't come out of his corner because he couldn't stop crying? You know what I'm talking about?
A lot because you're right. Like it's all in their
Was
own
that Trevor
head.
Burbick? No, it wasn't Trevor. It was the guy. Lennox Lewis beat him up so bad that the guy had a nervous breakdown in the corner. And he started crying, and he could come out of the corner. That's the Lakers. You know what I'm trying to say? You know what I mean by that? Like,
I don't know. All right, so we're going with the Clippers minus 3.5. The sad thing is, I get it. Like, I get exactly what you're saying. Like, they're so inside their own heads. It's all about them. That's a weird place to be.
yeah.
All right, so I'm sorry I'm laughing. I just bet the Clippers minus 3.5. Now, the last game of the night, we got the Kings. The Kings at the Warriors. The Warriors are laying 13.5. That's a lot of points.
Wow.
In terms of injuries, you want to hear injuries?
Out, and it's in Golden State, right?
Yeah, it's in Golden State. Draymond is out for the Warriors. Otto Porter Jr. is out. Iguodala is out. For the Kings, Terrence Davis out. Bagley is out. Oh, De'Aaron Fox is out. This is a weird game.
Then go with the Warriors, because again, that's another one. Bless you. That's another one of those spreads that they want you to believe that it's a game, and it's going to be like, oh wow, 13. Holy Christ, that's a lot. They're going to win by like 18. It's going to be a blowout. No De'Aaron Fox.
No De'Aaron. No Marvin Bagley either.
No, go Golden State. 13's a lot, but when you get out to a big lead because you can score and they can't like you can, then it's just going to be a clusterfuck of a game.
All right, so we're going to go Clippers minus 3.5. We're going to Warriors minus 3.5, and that's it. That's all that's out there. I didn't bet any of the earlier games. I was a lot of other stuff to do today, which kind of pisses me off because I've been betting like a lot of NBA games. And Tuesday night was a good night. Wednesday night was a good night, as I told everyone earlier. And hopefully, we'll hit 2 on Thursday and clean up on Friday.
I'll tell you what, I can't believe that it's Thursday again. Like, I feel like it was just Thursday. Like, this was the fastest week I've had in my life. I can't believe it's Thursday again. Like, I'll be honest. I was like, really? You ever have that? Maybe that doesn't happen to you because you constantly get dates. You ever have like a Wednesday, Thursday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday type of thing where you're like, what the fuck day is it today?
Yeah. Today was like super busy. Yesterday was super busy. Monday was the show. So yeah, like it's a little bit crazy. We're already into February.
And I don't know if you're not a homeowner, but I don't know if you have to deal with, is it garbage night?
Yeah.
Was there a holiday Monday? No, I don't know. Well, look outside. See who else got their garbage out. And then you're outside. I'm outside peeking at people's houses. They're going to walk, pretending like I'm walking the dog just because I want to see if other people know better than I do. Oh, they're putting out just the blue ones.
Oh yeah. That's the other thing. Yeah.
See what I'm trying to say, though? Like, that's the life. That's like, look, every day your life just drips away. Like it just drips away. That's why I was saying to my wife, I want to be cremated. I want my ashes put in one of those timepieces so people can play video like board games with me. Like turn me over and just watch my ashes pour out the thing. You know the little things they play with, the little time things. You know, flip it over. instead of sand. That's what I want her to do with my ashes.
Let's be your
Put it in-
ashes.
Yeah, put it in like a timekeeper, have a game, play a game, board game. Then I wanted to have a roast instead of a funeral. Like I want to have a dinner where people make fun of me at the dinner. Like that's how I want to go out. I want to go out with a roast.
I would
I want to
agree
go
with
out
that.
with my ashes in a timepiece. So they play a game. Then they're
Go
gonna
to-
spread them. They're gonna spread them out at Giant Stadium. That's my son's job. Gonna throw them at Giant Stadium, and then I want them to have a roast. I'm just worried that people will be afraid to not like be funny. You know what I mean?
No,
As a
it only takes like
fear of
one
offending people.
person to like break that. So you got to figure out who goes first, because as soon as one person does it, everyone else will pile on.
Well, look, I would love to do a roast. I've been waiting to do a roast for so long that I can't even tell you. I've had the same opening thing that I've been wanting to say forever. Like I wanted to get up on the thing, up on the dais, to be like, because if it's our group of friends, I always wanted to say, it's such a privilege to be up here on this dais, surrounded by so many funny people, and Dave.
What do you watch? Like the
Oh
Friars?
no! I don't watch nothing. I'm ready.
What do you watch? Like the Friars roasts from like the 50s and 60s? You like? Do you watch like Dean Martin's celebrity roast? Because like
I have. I have.
All right, look, we're at the hour mark. I want this to be my new background. I'm kind of hypnotized. I got like other stuff to do. Maybe I'll watch a little basketball.
Kev, you ever see the Bugs Bunny spoon?
Uh-huh.
All right. You ever see when Bugs Bunny, whenever they stir up some sort of potion, they'll pull the spoon out and it's all burnt and that's a term used for. There you go.
All right, we're done.
I got that one past you though, didn't I?
Any final words?
Stay in school, don't do drugs.
Perfect. All right, for King Michael, this is a Genius Kev. We are signing off on legit fantasy basketball for Thursday night. We are on a roll. We're paying attention. We're watching games. We are now giving you insights that you can't get without watching the games, which we probably should have thought of before we fired Coach TJ. Anyway, we're done for tonight. We'll be back. We'll be back on Monday and making bets all weekend. And I'll be making some money. I hope the rest of you are too.